Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Live, Love, Life, and Travel. This is your girl Shamika, and if you're new here, welcome. Just to let you know, I usually upload my travel topic videos throughout the weekdays and my free talk and story time videos throughout the weekend. So if you're interested, please hit that subscribe button. So before we get started, I just have to comment on my hair. I recently redid my hair and I hate it. I hate it. It's so like thin. I miss my old hair. When I look at like old videos, how full it was. The reason why it's so thin because I just reused the hair, and this is the second time I reused it, so now it's so thin. I can't wait to order new hair and redo this shit. So yeah. Anyway, I digress. Anyway, in today's topic of discussion is another difficult video. Today's topic of discussion is dealing with loss or death while overseas or while traveling. And this is something that I've had to deal with twice since I've been traveling. And by the way, I haven't been crying. It's just my allergies. But yeah, so it's something I had to deal with twice since I've been traveling. And it can be quite difficult to have to deal with that and be so far away from the ones you love. And I just wanted to talk about it. The first time it happened is a very, very close friend of the family passed away like a little over a year ago. And we hadn't been close for a while, but like it wasn't because of any animosity or anger or any negativity or anything like that. It's just, you know, grow up and this distance and time and stuff like that. But she was a really, really big part of my life when I first ran away from home, and she was a really, really big part of like getting me better, you know, and helping me heal and stuff like that. She was kind of, in a way, like a pastor, like a family pastor, but she wasn't technically a pastor. She was just very, very involved in church and spirituality and stuff like that. And yeah, she passed away, and I found out why. I was still staying here at this guest house. I wasn't in this room, I was in a different room. And to this day, no one knows why. Like, it was just like a mysterious death. Like, just, I guess there is a such thing of people just dropping dead, and no one knows why. You know, it was, you know, maybe thought she had an aneurysm, but it's like there's no evidence. So like, yeah, she went to work one day and just died. And yeah, so that was difficult to deal with, because, and one of the reasons why it makes it hard to deal with it, because like as much as people want to like give their condolences and say sorry, and you're grateful for those things, but they didn't know the person that you're grieving over, so it's almost like it's different. And also because they're not family, they're not friends, they're just like maybe, you know, employees of the place you're staying at, or just passerbyers or whatever, strangers, just other fellow travelers, you almost feel like embarrassed to cry or to grieve in front of them, so you just want to like be left alone and just go away. When I found out the family of the friend died, I sort of stayed to myself, and I cried to myself, so no one on the outside saw me. And I talked to my mom, and that really helps to talk to people overseas, and Facebook and chat and Skype and all those things. The most recent death that I've had to endure while traveling was my stepdad. My stepdad passed away just maybe a couple of months ago or 3 months ago, so quite fresh. And again, the same with the family friend. I wasn't necessarily that close to my stepdad anymore, but again, it wasn't because of any animosity or anger or negativity or anything like that. My stepfather left when I was 8 years old, and I didn't get reacquainted with him until I was 18. And after that, it was more like we had a relationship, but it was more like, I'll see you when I see you, and I love you when I love you, and there was no bad blood, but it was like a lot of time had passed, and I grew up, and so it didn't feel like my dad anymore. It was just like, he's my stepdad, but it wasn't that father-daughter connection, but I still loved him. And you know what I mean? And then my real father came back into my life, and I focused building a relationship with him. Yeah. But I never thought like I would never see him again. I always felt like, yeah, he's there, and every time I visit Detroit, I'll say hi, and we might go out to lunch, and that's sort of the extent of a relationship. Once in a while, we say hi on Facebook, and it's just kind of one of those things where you like, he knows I'm there, I know he's there, we know we love each other, but yeah. Um, so I don't really reveal too many details because like he has his biological children, my stepsister, my stepbrother, um, but I think what made his passing away more harder is that he was murdered. He was killed by another person, and they haven't caught the person who did it. I don't know all the details on exactly what happened, but yeah. And I found out that he passed away through Facebook. Like, my cousin messaged me and was like, "Hey, like, did you know?" And yeah, and it was kind of like it's almost like it's the same thing when I found out my grandma passed away. Like, there's a moment of like, oh, okay, that happened, and then all of a sudden, like, it just hit you, like, all at once, like your heart feel like someone took it and just like crunched it up in tiny little pieces, and you can't breathe, and you're suffocating, you're hyperventilating, and you're like, what the fuck, like, wait, what, like this, like all of a sudden, like all the memories of like him when I was little all came rushing back, and I was just like, I can't believe he's not here anymore. Like, I can't believe like he's not here anymore. So shortly after I found out, like, I got up from the table because I can feel myself about to like start crying, and I was in the lobby of the hostel, and I didn't want to cry in front of everybody, which it didn't matter because like once I did start crying, like everyone rushed out anyway. And so I got up and I rushed out of the door because I can feel myself about to like just go into like one of those deep girl cries. And I rushed out, and as soon as I busted out, it was like, "Ah!" Like, just came out of me, and just everybody was like, what the fuck? And everybody came rushing out of the hostel and like, what's wrong? Oh my god, what happened? And like, I was on the concrete, and I was on my knees, and like pretty much in a fetal position, just rocking back and forth and just crying and crying and crying. And, ah! And the workers in the hostel were like, what's, like, trying to console me, and like patting me on, like, what's wrong? And I finally got up, and it was like, my stepdad died. And they were all like, oh, like, oh my gosh, like, we're so sorry, like, oh my god. And yeah, and once you like kind of turn around, and you kind of like the tears, you get your vision back, because it's all blurry for a little bit because you're all teary-eyed, and you realize like everyone's staring at you. Just like, you feel embarrassed, and you're just like, oh, okay, like, no, I'm fine, I'm okay, like, no, it's okay, like, everyone wants to hug you, everyone wants to console you, everybody wants to know what's happening, and you kind of just like, as much as they're all coming from a good place, you kind of just want them to all like just leave you alone, like, no, I'm good, I don't want to talk about it, just leave me alone. So after that happened, I went back in, and I quickly like contacted everybody I can contact. I contacted my cousin, I contacted my stepsister, and I tried to contact my stepbrother, I contacted my brother, I contacted my dad. And short little backstory, my biological father and my stepfather grew up together, like they were best friends as children. And so my stepdad dated my real dad's ex-wife, which is like, a no bro thing, but they had no hard feelings, like after a while, of course. So yeah. So that was hard. And then, of course, like, after, the next few days, like, people constantly coming up to you and, like, are you okay? Like, do you need some water? And I'm just I don't like that type of attention. I don't like people looking at me like I'm a victim. And so, like, I was, like, it almost felt like I had to, like, I couldn't grieve because I felt like everyone was going to keep paying attention to me. And so, and I don't know, I feel like I have gone through the process, but I don't even know if I've fully gone through the process. I feel like once I go home and I see like my stepsister or my stepbrother, and I see his part of the family, and I see my dad, like, I'll probably go through another grieving process, because again, I feel like it's so much harder when you're not like close to the people who know you, your family, your friends. And I'm honestly not crying because that's just allergies. To be quite frankly, like, I don't have the money to like jump on a last minute plane. I just don't. Like, I don't have it. Like, I mean, if something like if certain other people, like, if, I don't want to talk about death in with any other way, but like, 'cause I was gonna say like, well, if someone else, like, no. If maybe it was other situations, maybe I would have like tried to go to the embassy and try to like get a ticket, but I don't know. I just don't have the funds to like buy a last minute ticket, and nobody in my family has funds like that. And so, I'm not crying. It is really just allergies. Not that it would be inappropriate if I was. I'm just saying. Sometimes it's more than what people can handle. Like, some people just can't handle that. Some people can't handle being that far away from their family because they're like, oh my god, if something did happen and if I wasn't there, I would feel so guilty. I would feel bad. I wouldn't know what to do. So some people can't handle it. I used to watch a YouTuber, and she ended up giving up traveling, not because someone passed away, because she ended up getting really sick. I think she got like dengue fever or like malaria or something, and she was fine. Like, she got better, but she was just like, the idea of getting that sick and being away from everybody I love, like, I can't handle that anymore. And I realize now that I just need to be close to my family. So some people can't handle it, and it is a sacrifice you possibly can be giving up when you decide to travel, especially long term, and especially if you don't have the funds to just jump on an emergency flight. And I'm building that up. I want to get to the point where I can do stuff like that, where I can, like, if I need to get home, I can get home. But we're just not there yet. And so you just have to think about those things before you start traveling. Like, you might miss weddings. I missed a lot of births. But the thing is, I'm kind of used to it because I've been living away from my family pretty much since I've been an adult. And so, before I started traveling, I lived in LA, and nobody in my family lives in LA. So I guess I'm used to missing weddings, and there were a couple of weddings where I definitely went home because they were like, my sister, like, I had to go home, like, they would hate me, and it's just a lot cheaper to go like fly from California to LA. From California to Detroit. But yeah, like, I've missed so many births and birthdays and weddings, and and I feel like my family is now used to just keeping me out of the loop because I'm not around. Like, I would talk to my mom, and my mom would be like, oh yeah, your sister had surgery. And I'm like, she had surgery? Like, what are you yeah, she had surgery like a couple months ago. I'm like, why didn't anybody tell me she had surgery? I feel like I should be informed about these things, but I feel like they're just so used to me always being so, like, I'm far away, so it's kind of like, oh, we don't need to bug you with certain things. So, I don't know, I guess I'm used to it now, being out of the loop and missing things. So traveling and being away from my family wasn't something new to me because I've been away from my family for a long time. I was closer in distance, but still away from them. And so for a new travelers who aren't used to being away from their families, sometimes it is too much for people. And it might be something you might have to ask yourself, like, am I willing to sacrifice this? If I travel long term, should I put money to the side? Because I've heard other people say, like, they've given $1,000 to their mom or $500 to their dad or whatever and said, hey, hold this, so when there's an emergency and I need to come home, I can come home. So having sort of those things in place, because so you can jump on a plane when you need to. Because if not, you might be sacrificing something, and you have to ask yourself if you're okay with sacrificing that. So anyway, how to deal with grief overseas. One, what helps me is just talking to family and friends until it makes you feel better. Like, talk the ear off, talk for hours, Facebook, Skype, FaceTime, text, write letters, emails, whatever you need to do. Talk to as many people till you feel like you're okay. As many people, as many times, as long as you need to, because since you can't be there physically, like, you can be there, like, in that way. Cry it out. Like, if you have to go to the woods somewhere where no one can see you, scream, cry, shout, punch something, break something, yell, like, get it all out. Write if you need to, like, if that helps, write your feelings down, have a journal, a diary, talk to someone else while you're traveling. I mean, if you have any type of closer relationships while you're traveling, talk to them. Yeah, and then give yourself time. Give yourself time. It takes time. So, yeah, that's the only advice I have, is dealing with grief while traveling. So, yeah, that's I guess it's like a story time inside of, like, what's been going on with me and a little advice. So, yeah, there's ways to help yourself with it, but you have to think about those things before you leave. Like my dad won't go anywhere because my grandma is really old and she's not that healthy. So he won't go anywhere. Like, he won't even go to a different city, because the idea of him not being there if something did happen, like, it's just too much for him. So like, you just have to ask yourself, like, you know, am I gonna be okay with that? But yeah, so that's it. If you like this video, please like it. If you want to share it, please share it, get it out there. If you have any questions or any comments of like how you deal with grief, or if you had to deal with grief while you were far away, if you have any advice or tips, please leave it in the comment section below. If you want to support this channel, help it grow, and help me get better equipment, please donate to my Patreon or my PayPal. Links are down below. If you want to follow me on my social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, my links are below. And if you want to continue to follow me on this crazy, beautiful game called life, if you're new here, my stories aren't usually this sad, but if you want to continue to follow me on this crazy, beautiful game called life, please subscribe. And if you subscribe, hit that bell so you get the notifications when I do upload. And thank you, family, love, life, and travel.